I'm Mark Edge. I'm one of the founding hosts of Free Talk Live, and today my message is, please sign my petition to free my co-host Ian Freeman at freeiannow.org.
What made you go from radio host to freedom fighter?
Well, I think that as a radio host, I probably was a freedom fighter for some period of time. I initially, just when I got on the air, it was just, dreams of stardom and wealth and making money as a talk show host, and, probably not, it's better than digging ditches. But as time went by, people would call in with questions about the sovereignty of individuals and, value-backed currency and, can the watchers be trusted, and these kind of questions. And I would think about these questions, and I'd come to conclusions different than I had drawn up to that point. That I was essentially in a large hall where anyone could ask me questions. Free Talk Live is the name of the program, and people could call in and about anything that they wanted to call in about. And so when they would ask me questions, I'd come to conclusions that seemed logical to me. And the logical answers largely lie within libertarianism.
Why do you think the FBI targeted Ian Freeman?
Well, the FBI had targeted Ian Freeman for many years, and they had been largely unsuccessful in doing so. They were trying to get him to sell weapons or sell drugs or a variety of things that he didn't do and didn't have any interest in doing. Ian was very successful in selling Bitcoin. He had 5,000 five-star reviews on localbitcoin.com. He was getting Bitcoin into the hands of people who were happy with his service. So when the FBI saw that, inevitably, there were some people who had been scammed among those folks. They would tell lies to Ian, and they'd answer, he had questions. He'd be like, have you ever heard of a romance scam? Have you ever met your boyfriend? Are you buying this Bitcoin as an investment? Questions like that. And they were coached by their handlers on how to answer. Now, I'm not saying this is some kind of government conspiracy. I'm saying, the scam artist told their victims how to answer these questions. And in the same way that if you went to a bank and they asked you, what are you doing? Where'd you get this money? You might answer, in the way that you've been told to answer. And they did. And they wanted to make their scammers happy. I mean, that's the whole premise of these ideas. So going after Ian Freeman is like arresting the gun store owner for the robberies that were committed in town using his guns.
What do you want every listener to do?
Yeah, I would beg them, please go to freeiannow.org. freeiannow.org, sign the petition, and we're going to, present this petition to Trump or whomever will listen, and hopefully we have thousands and thousands of signers in the near future. I'm just getting started, and this is the first event I've been to trying to get people to sign, and I'm hoping that we can stack thousands of signers here. And I could asking you to share on social media, whatever you can do, to freeiannow.org.
I have one more question. Could you elaborate on millionaire libertarians?
Millionaire libertarians. I do. I want to see the world full of millionaire libertarians. We used to have this concept of the Bill Gates libertarian back when we started Free Talk Live, 2002, all the way up to 2010. What would the world be like if there was a libertarian who was as rich as Bill Gates, a billionaire libertarian? And I think that cryptocurrency might get us there. There are people who believe very, very thoroughly in human rights, in freedom, in privacy, and they're willing to put their money where their mouth is to build better systems. And I am much more excited about this new world full of crypto libertarian millionaires than I was about the old one, where it was a bunch of people trying to grow their own tomatoes to solve the problems of personal freedom. And you should grow your own tomatoes. They're delicious.